So we provide rankings out there, and it's meant to reflect what user behavior is. So our primary ranking still is unique audience. So in this case, Google and Yahoo have a greater unique audience than AOL. But we've always provided a second ranking that's more volume-based, and that's traditionally been about page views. Whoever has the most page views has the most volume of traffic coming. In looking at the way the new technologies shape out, and you're looking at more and more cases where, whether it be with Ajax or with video and audio and other types of streaming, that page views weren't really indicative of user behavior. That site design kind of created an arbitrary case where that you could look at a MySpace or a YouTube, and that a page view at a YouTube doesn't mean the same thing as with MySpace, because they're going to YouTube and they're spending a lot longer on that page to watch a video. So we looked at it and said, well, how could our data should reflect user behavior, and that we feel total minutes is a better gauge of it now than page views. These new models, whether it be Ajax or video, it's still unsure how an ad will be served. We know with traditional pages, it used to be a page refresh and then the ad would come. So page views and ad opportunities had a relationship. With video, it's tough to say. Is it, every video has a certain amount of ads? Is it the longer the video is, the more ads that are received? What we're doing is waiting to see how that shakes out before we come up with any type of ad-related metric to video. But in general, we would say the longer that they're watching video on a site, the more a chance the site has to put ads in there. We're trying to reflect what's going on, and we say for a publisher, their main goals, or usually 1 and 1A, would be make sure you create a very good user experience so people are coming back to your site, and 2, find a way to serve advertising to please advertisers and make sure you have a valid business model. We'd consider ourselves at 3rd and say, okay, well, we also want to look good in syndicated rankings to make sure that the agencies themselves want to advertise on our site. So our feeling is that with time spent, it basically doesn't affect, it's kind of the least intrusive metric we can have today, so they can accommodate those first 2. So a publisher, all I have to worry about, I create a good user experience, figure out how to serve ads, and assuming I'm doing those 2, time should be spent on my site and I don't have to worry about it. Where with page views, because they require certain action on the publisher, you could get into cases where, you think about today, a certain article might have to be paginated 3 or 4 times in order to make sure you're getting that metric so you're looking good in maybe syndicated data. At this time, it's like, nope, just make sure they read the article, and if they read the article, you'll be fine with time spent. It becomes much more important when you think about taking a 3-page article, converting that to a video, which only needs to be on 1 page. You can see that trade-off that would have to be in place if page views were the primary view or the primary gauge of whether your site was successful or not. Now we say, as long as there's time spent, that would be a fairer way, and that'll say whether how involved they were on your site.